this section quick and easily, I hope. And we're just going to do 3 practice problems. Before that, I do want to remind you what's an inequality. Remember, it's less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. And technically, does not equal is an inequality because it's saying it's not equal. Make sure that you're pronouncing these correctly. Less than kind of looks like an L if you're turning the paper. Greater than's the other way. Okay, so if I have x is greater than or equal to 16, that would be an inequality. And if they ask me to use a number line to represent this situation, what I need to do is I need to make a number line. But I'm not going to start from 0, because if I start from 0, I'm going to be counting quite a ways until I get up to 16. So the deal with the number lines that I'm going to tell you is that the number you're dealing with, you can put right in the middle, and then I'll let you pick 2 numbers above and 2 numbers below that number to put on your number line, just to show, yes, we're counting by ones, and then you're good. You have to have arrows on the end, of course, to show that it's continuing on, but there's my number line to show this. Now, what I'm saying is that x can be 16 or any number bigger than 16. So to show it's 16, I would do a dot, and I color it in because it can be 16, and then any number greater than 16 goes in this direction. And your number line needs to be in the correct direction, where the smaller numbers are on the left and the bigger numbers are on the right. You can see easily what I've shaded because I've used 2 different colors, and you should be using 2 different colors too, or somehow it's nice and dark so I can tell where your shading is. If I can't tell where your shading is, then I'm not going to be able to make any guesses, so I have to just mark it wrong, and I don't want to have to do that. So just make sure it's nice and obvious. All right, number 2, we're going to have to do some addition or subtraction now. So what if it was x minus 3.5 is less than 2.5. So you're going to solve your inequality just like you were solving equations in the last part of this unit. So x is less than 5.5. Okay, you're going to do the same thing with your number line. So 5.5 goes in the middle. And now it's 5.5, so I don't know, are you going to count by, oops, 5.5 is not correct. Good thing I caught it. Just kidding. Good math, Mrs. Wyman. X is less than 6. So we're going to change this totally. Now, I was about to say if we were counting by 5.5, then we might want to go up by tenths. But now it's 6, so no problem. So 7, 8, 5, and a 4 that way. All right? So now it is not equal to 6. So I have a circle on 6, but it is not shaded because it's not equal to it. But it's every number less than it. So I'm going to shade right on the line. It doesn't go above or below. It's right on the line. And I have my open circle. And remember that mess right there. I'm just going to, can't see it on the screen here. That's a 6 right there. Okay? You, of course, would have an eraser if this was a test, and it would look wonderful, I'm sure. So x is less than 6. Okay? All right, so the next one, let's talk about if they wrote the inequality backwards. So you are saying to me, if I have negative 16 is greater than x, a lot of you would say that's backwards because the variable should be on the left. Well, then write it on the left. X and negative 16, but make sure you do the inequality symbol in the correct direction. You want the mouth to eat the bigger one, and this one is saying the bigger one is negative 16. Now, when you're doing negative numbers on the number line, make sure you're doing them correctly. So what number goes to the right of negative 16? A number bigger than it, right? Which is negative 15. And this would be negative 17 and negative 18 that way. Don't number your number line incorrectly. Make sure you have it going in the correct direction. If you have the variable on the left-hand side, then you will always be shading the way the arrow is pointing. If you have the variable over here, then you can't make that rule. Okay, so x is less than negative 16, so it's not equal to it, so I have an open circle, and less than it would be to the left, right on the line, shading the arrow, darkening it in. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do for notes for 6-1, but we're going to do 6-2 notes right now as well. So I'm just going to draw a line. And this is 6.2, solving inequalities. Solving inequalities using multiplication and division now. Okay, so we're going to do examples again. So we'll make this example 4. We'll just continue our numbering here. So example 4 would be y over 9 is less than or equal to negative 3. So if this was an equal sign, you would just multiply both sides by 9 and be good to go. So just go ahead and do that. So I multiply both sides by 9 to get rid of dividing by 9. Y is greater than or equal to negative 27. That cancels. And now I'm going to do my number line. So negative 27 goes in the middle. Bigger than it goes to the right. Smaller than it goes to the left. It doesn't have to be a perfect number line. The spacing should be roughly equal. It's not perfect, but they are roughly equal there. And then I'm going to shade this guy in because it's equal to it. So negative 27, and it's equal to that. And then it's shaded to the right. Okay, so that would be using multiplication. Let's do one using division now. So we're going to do number 5. So it's negative 3z is greater than negative 12. So if this was an equal sign, you would divide both sides by negative 3. Those cancel, and I'm left with z and 4. And here's the deal. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign because you've changed the problem. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality sign. Flip the inequality sign. And this is going to catch somebody. Somebody's going to forget to do that on the test. So try to get it in your brain right now. So my new sign becomes a less than sign. And then to do my number line, I'm going to do what we've been doing here. 4, 5, 6, 3, and 2 on this side. It's less than but not equal, so it's an open circle. Make sure it's very obvious it's an open circle. If you get it too small, it may look like a closed circle to me. So make sure it's nice and open, and then it's shaded to the left. Okay, so the last one we're going to do here, number 6, is m over negative 2 is less than or equal to 5. So go ahead and pause the video and make sure that you can do this on your own, and then when you're done, come back and see if you got it. All right, how'd you do? Did you multiply both sides by negative 2 to get rid of dividing by negative 2? So m is greater than or equal to negative 10 because we had to flip that inequality sign. And then it's a solid dot, and it's going to the right. And did you number your negative numbers in correct order? All right, if you have any more questions, see Mrs. Lyman. Otherwise, you are just going to continue to the next step. Good job on notes.